The veil between the living and the dead is often thought to be thinnest at night. In the stillness of the dark, when shadows stretch and the world quiets down, our minds become more attuned to the whispers of the unknown. Darkness brings whispers of ghosts and spirits. It is in these moments that the stories of the supernatural come alive, feeding on our primal fears. It amplifies our fears and heightens our senses. Every creak, every rustle becomes a potential harbinger of the otherworldly. But what if ghosts are not confined to the shadows? What if the supernatural does not adhere to the boundaries of night and day? What if they walk among us in broad daylight, invisible to the untrained eye yet present, influencing our world in ways we scarcely understand? Contrary to popular belief, ghost sightings are not exclusive to the night. Daytime hauntings have been reported throughout history, challenging our understanding of the paranormal. Historically significant places like Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, are teeming with tales of daytime hauntings. These locations, steeped in history and tragedy, seem to hold on to the echoes of the past. These sightings challenge our preconceived notions about ghosts and the nature of the paranormal. They suggest that the spirits of the departed are not bound by the darkness, but rather by the memories and emotions tied to a place. They force us to confront the possibility that the line between our world and the next is more permeable than we think. The daylight, with its clarity and warmth, does not necessarily banish the presence of the unseen. The idea of encountering a ghost in the full light of day might seem improbable, even absurd. Yet, the accounts of those who have experienced such phenomena are compelling and difficult to ignore. However, numerous accounts from credible witnesses suggest otherwise. These individuals, often rational and skeptical by nature, have found themselves face to face with the inexplicable. These daytime encounters often involve vivid sensory experiences that are difficult to dismiss as mere tricks of the imagination. The clarity of daylight only serves to enhance the reality of these experiences. The sun, it seems, does little to deter these entities from making their presence known. They move through the light as easily as they do the dark, unbound by the constraints we impose upon them. As we delve into the world of daytime hauntings, we'll explore the historical context, psychological factors, and compelling evidence that suggest ghosts are not bound by the setting sun. We'll hear from historians, psychologists, and those who have had first-hand experiences. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew about the supernatural and perhaps to see the world around you in a new light. The ghosts of the past may be closer than you think, lingering in the light of day, waiting to be seen. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, a small town forever etched in history as the site of one of the American Civil War's most pivotal battles. The name Gettysburg is synonymous with sacrifice, bravery, and the brutal realities of war. The three-day conflict in July 1863 left over 50,000 soldiers dead, wounded, or missing. It was a battle that turned the tide of the war, but at an unimaginable cost. The sheer scale of death and suffering soaked the land with an indelible sorrow. Every inch of this ground is a testament to the lives lost and the families shattered. It's no surprise that Gettysburg is now considered one of the most haunted places in America. The echoes of the past seem to reverberate through the very air, whispering tales of valor and despair. What sets Gettysburg apart from other haunted locales is the prevalence of daytime ghost sightings. Unlike many haunted places where spirits are said to roam only at night, Gettysburg's ghosts appear under the sun's bright gaze. Visitors and residents alike have reported encounters with apparitions, both corporeal and ethereal, in the bright light of day. These sightings are often vivid and unmistakable, leaving a lasting impression on those who witness them. These sightings are not confined to the battlefield itself, they occur in the town square, in local businesses, and even on the grounds of Gettysburg College. The entire town seems to be a canvas for these spectral figures, painting a picture of a past that refuses to be forgotten. The persistence of paranormal activity at Gettysburg, even during the day, suggests a powerful connection between the traumatic events of the past and the present. It's as if the energy of those fateful days in July 1863 is still palpable, still influencing the world around it. The spirits of those who fought and died here seem unable or unwilling to move on. They linger in the places where they fell, perhaps bound by unfinished business or a deep connection to the land. They linger, perhaps seeking solace, recognition, or simply a way to tell their stories. Each ghostly encounter is a reminder of the human cost of war, a silent plea for remembrance and understanding. Gettysburg stands as a stark reminder that ghosts are not bound by time or darkness. The spirits here are a part of the landscape, as enduring as the monuments and memorials that dot the fields. Their presence can be felt at any hour, in any place where the weight of history hangs heavy. Gettysburg is a place where the past is always present, a haunting reminder of the sacrifices made and the lives forever changed by the ravages of war. Why does Gettysburg, more than other battlefields, hold such a grip on the spectral plane? What is it about this particular site that seems to draw so many reports of ghostly encounters and paranormal phenomena? The answer likely lies in the convergence of several factors, each contributing to the unique and haunting atmosphere of this historic site. The sheer scale of the battle, the brutal conditions faced by the soldiers, and the delayed burial of thousands of bodies created a perfect storm of residual energy and untethered souls. The Battle of Gettysburg was one of the largest and bloodiest battles of the Civil War, with over 50,000 casualties in just 3 days. The Battle of Gettysburg was a brutal affair, fought in the sweltering heat of a Pennsylvania summer. The oppressive heat added to the misery of the soldiers, who were already dealing with the horrors of war. Soldiers on both sides endured unimaginable hardship, from lack of food and water to the constant threat of enemy fire. Many were young men, far from home, facing the grim reality of death at every turn. The intense emotions of fear, desperation, and agony imprinted themselves on the very land. These powerful emotions, experienced by so many in such a concentrated area, left a lasting mark on the battlefield. The aftermath of the battle was just as harrowing. The landscape was littered with the dead and dying, and the survivors were left to deal with the trauma of what they had witnessed. The stench of death hung heavy in the air as overwhelmed burial details struggled to inter the thousands of fallen soldiers. The task was immense, and the conditions were far from ideal. Many bodies lay where they fell for days or even weeks, exposed to the elements and scavengers. This delay in burial only added to the sense of horror and despair that permeated the battlefield. These hasty burials, often in shallow graves, meant that the remains of many soldiers were disturbed in the years that followed, further anchoring their spirits to the physical world. The ground itself seemed to hold on to the memories and energies of those who had perished. The sheer volume of death and suffering at Gettysburg created a kind of psychic scar on the land. This scar is felt by many who visit, a palpable sense of the past lingering just beneath the surface. This, combined with the environmental factors that kept the dead physically tethered to the battlefield, makes Gettysburg a prime location for paranormal activity, both day and night. Visitors and paranormal investigators alike report strange occurrences, from ghostly apparitions to unexplained sounds and sensations, making Gettysburg a place where history and the supernatural seem to intersect in a profound and haunting way. Section 4. Ghosts of the Day, Seeking Solace from the Sun's Glare. One theory that attempts to explain the prevalence of daytime hauntings at Gettysburg revolves around the brutal conditions the soldiers endured. The scorching summer sun beat down on the battlefield, adding another layer of suffering to the already unbearable conditions. Many soldiers succumbed to heat stroke, dehydration, and exhaustion. It's possible that some of the spirits haunting Gettysburg are drawn back to the daylight hours, not out of a desire to frighten, but to seek respite from the very element that tormented them in life. They may be replaying those final moments of suffering, seeking a solace they cannot find in the cool embrace of the night. Visitors to Gettysburg often report feeling an oppressive heat, even on mild days. This sensation, coupled with the numerous accounts of soldiers appearing in period attire, drenched in sweat and seemingly delirious, lends credence to the theory that some spirits are caught in a perpetual loop of their final suffering. The idea of ghosts seeking relief from the sun's glare adds a tragic layer to the already poignant history of Gettysburg. It suggests that these spirits are not malevolent entities but rather souls, trapped in a cycle of suffering, seeking a peace that eludes them. Section 5. Whispers from the Past, Auditory Phenomena at Gettysburg. While full-bodied apparitions are certainly a staple of Gettysburg's paranormal lore, it's the auditory phenomena that truly set it apart. Visitors and park rangers alike have reported hearing a chilling array of sounds, often in broad daylight, that defy rational explanation. Footsteps echoing across empty fields, the distinct clatter of musket fire, and the mournful strains of a distant bugle are just a few of the auditory anomalies that have been documented. These sounds are often accompanied by an overwhelming sense of unease and a palpable shift in the atmosphere. One of the most frequently reported auditory phenomena is the sound of cannon fire, particularly during the anniversary of the battle. Visitors have described feeling the ground tremble beneath their feet, as if a spectral artillery barrage is being unleashed upon the fields. These unexplained sounds serve as a stark reminder that the past is never truly gone. They are the echoes of a conflict that claimed thousands of lives, reverberating through time and space. The sounds of battle, including cannon fire, are said to be heard at Gettysburg even in the present day.